Everybody, well, this is pretty cool, and I'm glad I came here because I saw a show on TV many years ago about this. But this is in New Hampshire, and it is an ancient archaeological site that some believe prove that some other Europeans came here before Christopher Columbus. Now, when you learn the history on America, depending on where you lived and how you learned it, some people believe Amerigo Vespucci discovered America, and some people believe Christopher Columbus discovered America. But they say that this site proves that somebody else from Europe was here before Christopher Columbus. So we're going to go check it out. And what it is it's a Stonehenge and an archaeological site that has a sundial that oddly, when you do like a laser from this sundial, it actually goes to the Stonehenge in Europe. Is that not freaking bizarre? And they can tell that these stones were stoned and carved out by other stones, which is a trait that no sort of farmer or colonist in the area would have known how to do or would have done at the time that New Hampshire was colonized. Pretty interesting stuff. We're going to check it out. I will film some and take some pictures for you so we can see, because you know me, I like this kind of stuff. This is pretty cool. This is a real Native American canoe, which is so strange because it's so thin and skinny that I don't know how anybody sat in it unless they sat in it with their legs hanging over. But I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. And over here is a rebuild of a Native American shelter. Isn't that cool? I have seen like 4 or 5 different sort of either historical shelters or rebuilds of Native American shelters on this trip. And it's pretty cool. It makes you have a greater appreciation. Ouch, sorry. You know, I'm on a hiking trail, so I'm going to trip and I'm going to say ouch a lot. But it is what it is because it's beautiful out here. And I got 3 different kinds of bug spray on today. So suck it, mosquitoes, because I don't think you'll be sucking my blood. So this is really super cool. This right here. See how bad the bugs are? You can see them flying in front of my pictures. This right here is an original Stonehenge wall and chamber. Check that out. That is so cool. And it's amazing that somebody took the time and the initiative to preserve this, because a lot of these walls get torn down and people use the rock for other things. That noise you're hearing in the background, aside from my feet, are all these acorns falling off the trees. And yeah, I'm going to pick some up before I leave because I can't believe how many acorns are actually out here. But look, I'm going way in there to see the sundial and the Stonehenges. Cool, this is, see all the bugs, first of all? But that is a lower well at Stonehenge. And it's got this fence around it. And then that sort of fence over it to protect it, which I'm fine with. But I thought I would show you guys how cool that is, that there's a well here that somebody put up. And that is pretty cool. But look at how beautiful these woods are. I think I'm going to have to find me a campground around here or something so I can camp in the woods today. Because that would be awesome. And tomorrow I get to go whale watching. Woo woo! Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so cool. Check it out. This is an actual Stonehenge. Look at that. If you look down there, there's another well. There's another building. I wonder what would make somebody come here and do all this. Like, what did they see in this area that made it seem so valuable to them? Pretty dang cool. I'm going to pause for a minute so I can go around this corner without falling and record again. But, wait, look at that. Like, what made them come to this part of New Hampshire and build this? And if they came to this part of New Hampshire to build all this, then what did they build in other parts that has since been disappeared? Disassembled is what I meant, and disappeared. Look at that. is pretty cool. You can see how bad the bugs are, but I'm going to take a picture of that sign. It has it where you can go. Well, I guess it says I can go down here. I just don't want to fall. So now I'm actually inside one of them. That is pretty cool. And then there's no fence here, so I guess I can go this way. Look at that. A little stone structure. Do you know how strong people would have had to be to build this stuff and move these stones? And yeah, I get that it would be more than one person, of course, but they would still have to be super strong. And then how strong are all these stones that this has stayed around all these years? Look, we've got to go up there and check it out. Another little house looking thing. And what's crazy is if these weren't used for some sort of storage, then these people must have been really small. Either that or they spent all their time outdoors and only crawled in there to sleep, because it's super small. Pretty incredible. We're going up again on the roots. Let's see if I can make it on the roots holding the phone without falling. But look at that. That is so cool. There's a kid over there exploring too. And before you come explore it, they have a video that explains what they believe it is and how they try to preserve it. It's pretty interesting. So this is amazingly cool, but I have to tell you, up here I took more still photos than video because the ground's unstable and I didn't want to fall trying to record. But check that out. And they really have no idea what those little cave things that are man-made caves were used for. It's pretty cool. Now we gotta go down this way. Let's see how unlevel the ground is, so I gotta get off the phone again. But they even have, well, before I get off the phone, I'll show you. They even have these little circles where they can tell that somebody dug into the stone or broke up the stone for a reason. They're just not sure what the reason is. Pretty dang cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go down this way. Okay, this is kind of creepy, but I'm recording this as best I can. So I'm assuming that the trail comes through here, because that's what the map says. But check this out. Look at that. And then it goes through here. This is why I shouldn't be recording. Because my feet are not very stable. And I hope I'm not trespassing on something I shouldn't be. Then I come out here. Ooh, and I'm over here. Craziness. And when I say they have this protected, they really have it protected. It's got a chain link fence with the little X's and then barbed wire at the top. It's like a prison for stones. But I get it. They don't want anybody vandalizing it. I'm not knocking them for doing it. I'm just letting you know. It's pretty dang protected. Alright, let's go stand up there and see what you see from above. Because I'm trying to find the thing that points to the summer solstice and the winter solstice. Because those are the things that point to the Stonehenge in Europe. And actually, I think I just found the summer solstice one. That is it. It's the biggest one. And the summer's the big one, and the winter's the little one. So way down there, on the other side of the fence, must be the winter one. This is the little Stonehenge village from the high point. And I'm going to go on the other side of the fence in a minute and show you the rest. Is that not cool? But this one right here, whoops, fell off a rock. That is the summer solstice one. And I thought out there would be the winter solstice one, but it's not. It would have to be behind me somewhere. So we're going to go check that out in a minute. But this is called the sacrificial table. And I'm going to have to read and figure out what that is and what they sacrificed and why. But that right there is the sacrificial table. And I'm not out here by myself. There's actually quite a few people out here. But I do have to tell you, it gives me a creepy vibe. And I don't know why. It's very strange. I'm going to go follow the rest of the trail and see what I see. But it's a little bit weird. And I don't know why I'm getting that feeling. But they even carbon dated this site so they know how far everything goes back. But now you go out this gate and you go, that's the astronomical trail. And then that's the trail to return to the lodge. So I'm going to take this trail first. And I'm going to have to get off the phone until I get up there so I don't fall down. Because yes, of course, I already fell once. What an altogether cool and creepy view. Even the flippin' bug going crazy in there. I don't know why that bug's doing that. Anyway, that's pretty cool. That's where the site is. No, aside from the site they have fenced in and preserved, there are stone walls all through here, which means there had to be an entire community here. Which then makes me wonder if, when the wars were going on over here, if this is where they learned about how to make these stone walls. Because it wasn't something that was done, really. Really, it was done with, like, tree trunks and sticks. These bugs are crazy. But these are like some heavy-duty stone walls. And then when I lived in New York, between my house and my neighbor's house was a stone wall similar to this, but smaller stones that people told us. Look at that, there's another one of those little cave things. Anyway, people told us that that was a stone wall left over from the Civil War. I don't know if it was or was not. I have nothing that verifies or unverifies that. However, one time a UPS guy was delivering packages and he hit the wall and he lost his mind. Like literally lost his mind, because apparently they have very strict rules at UPS and he was going to end up responsible. And I'm like, dude, just go pick up the rocks and stack them back up there. Nobody's even going to notice. I said, I like the wall because it's pretty, but nobody's going to notice you knocked a few rocks off of it. Just pick them up and put them back up there. Now, I would have picked them up and put them back up there myself, but I just had a baby 2 days before the UPS guy hit the wall. So I had him do it. But that's it. Oh, the trail's closed that way. But this is the winter solstice one. That is pretty cool. So winter solstice, and all the way down there, summer solstice. Which means it's a pretty huge astrological site. And when they have a sign that says trail closed, it just piques my curiosity and makes me want to go down the trail. But since I'm limiting my rule breaking on this trip, I'm just going to continue to carry on this way. But I also want to tell you, this trail like goes on and on and on. And this is just the general area that they have mapped out, and that's a big fenced area. But as you look out into the woods, you see more and more stone walls that they have carbon dated back into the 16 and 1700s. But because they can't, I guess, prove or justify what they are, they've left it out of the official monument with the actual caves. I know I sound like a total science nerd, but I am, or a total nerd, but I am a total science nerd. Even though I don't get the general, or I get the general information correct, but not all the details. It's just pretty cool to me that somebody did come out here and build this in the middle of what at the time would have been nowhere, New Hampshire. Now it's Salem, New Hampshire, but at the time, it couldn't have been anything. And that's a little crazy, because how did they pick this one spot in the middle of the woods? Unless they were either from the area of Stonehenge in Europe, and somehow they had some sort of ability, which would have had to be an extraterrestrial, just saying, to laser from that Stonehenge to this spot. Or when they got here, they built it and had some sort of ability to laser back from here to that Stonehenge. I don't know. I got no explanations for it. Apparently neither does anybody else. But you have to admit, it's creepy, because it literally is in the middle of what would have been nowhere, New Hampshire, because America was not discovered yet. Craziness. Anyway, I think I'm going back to the beginning. I don't even know anymore, because I feel like I've sort of walked in circles, but I did follow the arrows. So I shouldn't be causing too much trouble. And this sign over here says trail returns to the lodge. But what an incredibly interesting spot in the middle of the woods. And it's literally the middle of the woods. Check this out. This says J, but I don't know where my little paper is that explains what this is. Let's see if I can see it. EFGHIJ, Summer Solstice Sunrise Stone. Weird, because that's like a flat circle. Oh, it aligns with the summer solstice. See? Pretty cool. There it is. Boom! There's like a fire pit. Must have had some sort of oven. And there's the trail back to the lodge in these deep woods. Very bizarre. Alright, peace out everybody. I'm now going downhill, and I fall more going downhill than uphill. I know it's odd, but I gotta go. Bye. And that's it. We're headed back to the lodge. I have to say, this is a cool little site. They have these little benches, these are new, that they put here so a speaker can talk to them, talk to students and stuff about the area. But I'm headed back to the lodge. That was a pretty cool tour. I don't know how far the distance was. I don't believe it was even a mile though, in case anybody's interested. And it wasn't rough. It's rough if you're going to try and walk and record, but it's not rough if you're just going to enjoy the cool little trail. As you come back off the trail, there's an alpaca habitat. And it looks like there's two of them hanging out in there. There's none out on the grounds, but there is oh, I don't know what the phone just did. But there is oh, it's the bug that's making it fuzzy. There is a sign that says, "People food makes us sick, please don't feed us." But they're not close enough to really see very well. Pretty cool. Anyway, back at the lodge. Talk to you later.